The Pan Africanist Congress will launch its elections manifesto in Duduza, Ekurhuleni tomorrow. The party is claiming that under its government, no public entities will degenerate. Now, the PAC was formed in 1959 by the late founder, Mangaliso Robert Sobukwe. Despite its early political gains and the mark it made in the South African history, which includes organizing the 1960 march against the pass laws imposed by the apartheid government, the PAC has been gripped by internal fighting and court battles due to its leadership disputes. Now, during the 2019 general elections, litigation issues delayed the party's IEC registration as the Commission could not determine a rightful leader and which of the groups was legitimate. Now, in a recent August court judgment, Mzwanele Nyhontso has been confirmed as the party's current president, and he joins us now on the line. Great to have you. Thanks very, very much for being with us.
Morning to Leon and morning to the viewers.
All right, so let's get our conversation started off by giving us a preview of what your propositions on the PAC manifesto for these 2021 local government elections are.
Firstly, Leon, we believe that local government elections interface directly with our people on the ground, hence they are called local government. So we want to have councillors or want to focus on the development where people reside in the local municipalities. We want to make sure that the councillors that are going to be elected are credible and have a good track record. And as we said in our document, that the most infrastructure under the current government have collapsed, and we will make sure that we revive those infrastructures so that we have employment for our people in the rural areas and everywhere else. And we will focus, of course, PAC is known to be the party of land, and we will focus on the land, that people must have land so that in that land they are able to grow whatever they want to grow, and then they live freely in their own land. And we'll focus on those areas there.
South Africans, obviously, who would like to vote for the PAC may be wondering what you would offer those, as the party seems to be out of political action for most part and consumed by internal fighting. So if we can focus on that just a little bit, I mean, people may want to vote for you, but they're very fearsome that, you know, this vote may disappear because of leadership issues.
They have all the good reasons to vote for the PAC. You know the reason why, Leon, it's because I agree we had internal fights, we had factional battle, but truth is we are also law-abiding citizens. Truth is, in all our disagreements, in our differences, we approach the court of law. We don't solve our problems through the barrel of a gun. You can't even have a single grave out of PAC factional battles. So that should give our people a reason to vote for the PAC, because if we have problems, we are approaching the very same court, the court that are part of this constitution of this country. We don't kill each other. Other parties are killing each other every day. Candidates are killed everywhere. But PAC doesn't do that. Now, but all that now, Leon, is water under the bridge. We've passed that stage. The PAC is ready to govern. Yeah. Because as PAC as an organization had no problems. The problem was between the leaders to us here in top, not there in the masses. They have reasons to vote for the PAC, Leon.
Yeah. You say water under the bridge, but, you know, from what we see, it still appears that the leadership battle is a big and pressing issue within the PAC, because we do know, as we mentioned in the introduction, that the North Gauteng High Court has declared you the rightful leader. However, on the other side, there is still going to be an appeal on that one, and we can see that the supporters of Narius Mulato are now taking this to the Supreme Court of Appeal. So, you know,
they did appeal.
They did appeal, so that has now been sorted out.
Yes, that has been sorted out. They did appeal and they were dismissed with court. So anyway, as I was saying, Leon, we don't want to focus on that one. Remember, Leon, to lead PAC, the mandate to lead, you don't derive it from court, you derive it from the structures of that organization. The structures of the organization are very clear. The structures of the organization know who is their leader. Now, we have narrowed down the sectional battles of the PAC to an individual against PAC. But we will keep on making this call that everyone who happens to be on the other side of these problems, this is the time for him to come and regularize his or her membership and be part of the PAC.
All right, so let's now focus on the elections at hand. Just looking at your numbers generally and your one-seat representation in Parliament, because that's what you currently have. It seems that a party as old as the PAC has perhaps been overtaken by newer parties. Are you confident that you're still effective and have constituencies across the country that want you there and will still vote for you?
They will. We are more than confident there. In fact, come Saturday, when we're launching the manifesto, you'll see, come 1st of November, in the elections, PAC will improve, and come 2024, we'll make a great impact. You're right, we're affected by a whole lot of things. You've mentioned some of them, but I can assure you, we are more than confident. In fact, because figures don't lie, the 1st of November will be here, and you will see the improvement. I can assure you.
Yeah. The PAC, the one thing the PAC has always branded itself on is the land ticket, fighting a land struggle for land that has been disposed, demanding land restitution. Given that this is a sore spot for the majority of South Africans who are still living in squalor, in squatter camps, in the peripheries of prime land in South Africa, why do you think the PAC struggles to attract a decent number of followers when this really does speak to the heart of South Africans?
The problem, as you correctly put it, it was a number of factors that caused those problems to us. And what is good about the land question is that everybody understands that the gist of our struggle has always been the land. Everybody understands that the item of conflict in this country has always been the land. But the PAC as an organization had some difficulties and problems, as you mentioned. But as I'm saying now, it's water under the bridge, and every political party is talking about land. But the truth is, it is only PAC that speak about land on a different way, speaking about land restoration and land repossession. Nobody's talking about that. And once the PAC takes its shape as it is doing right now, the masses will understand, will give the way, and masses will follow.
The PAC currently has a case that is under investigation by the Human Rights Commission for using the slogan, one settler. We know that one, we won't talk about it, which was associated with the Brackenfell High School racially segregated matric farewell incident in Cape Town last year, where the party was protesting outside the school in November 2020. The PAC is still holding its ground, saying that it's been victimized for uttering its liberation struggle slogan. Aren't those some of the issues that are perhaps holding the party back, in your opinion?
Not at all, Leanne. One settler, one bullet is the slogan of the PAC, and now it's part of our heritage. One settler, one bullet has always been a wartime slogan. We're encouraging our people as an army who had no resources. So we're just encouraging our fighting army APLA that they must not waste resources, they must not waste bullets. Each bullet must take us forward. So it's part of our heritage. It is not a policy now. It is part of our history. It is just like the Apartheid Museum. It is just like the statues that are there all over the country of our own former oppressors. Now, we will never stop using that slogan. Anyway, we don't believe that they are still settlers. But if settlers are still believing that they are settlers and they are still here to colonize us, that means they too deserve a bullet. But truth is that slogan is not a policy. It's just part of our heritage. It is like a revolutionary song that we sing. It is like a lot of issues. There is a Battle of Blood River. People are talking about it. That does not mean it's that river. There is still blood today. There are a lot of things. There are special road statutes. they are still here. They are an insult to us. But because now we are here, we are not saying those things must be taken there. In fact, I can only say the Human Rights Commission behaves like an extension of the AfriForum or a branch of the AfriForum, because we are not doing any violence. Anyway, poverty is violence. Landlessness is violence. Yeah. There is no violence in shouting a wartime slogan, and that preserves our own heritage.
But Mzwanele, the Commission says that your utterances constitute hate speech. I mean, when we talk about one settler, one bullet, that's what they say. I mean, it's almost like an inciting of violence, even though you say it isn't. It's more just a struggle song and a struggle slogan. But it is, people can read many things into it. And, the Commission will approach the Equality Court for a declaratory order, which may include an order for the PAC to actually pay monetary damages and a retraction. What I'm gathering from you is that the PAC will not apologize.
We'll never apologize for waging a struggle against apartheid. That's one. Number two, we are not inciting any violence. We disagree with the Human Rights Commission. In fact, if we agree with the Human Rights Commission, the next thing tomorrow they will ask us not to sing a revolutionary song. The next thing they will ask us not to talk about what happened in the past. The next thing they will ask us not to tell anyone that this land belongs to Africans. It does not belong to all who live in it. The next thing they will tell us that this country is not for African people. And we can't allow that, and we'll never apologize for telling the truth.
All right. Final question. What were you saying? I mean, this obviously speaks right to the PAC issues and raises questions as to who are your potential constituencies. So my final question to you is, who is the PAC targeting as a voter in South Africa's contemporary times post-apartheid and in these particularly upcoming local government elections?
PAC is the African people, and African people are PAC. And that is the target of our campaign. And moreover, the PAC has a vibrant and a revolutionary student movement, PASMA. That means the youth in this organization is growing at a fast rate. We are targeting the youth, and they do understand the language of the PAC now. That is why I'm confident that come 1st of November, we will make a great impact in this coming election.
Thank you for talking to us. I'm glad we got the interview on. And that, of course, was the Pan Africanist Congress President Mzwanele Nyhontso, who is speaking to us ahead of the party's 2021 elections manifesto launch that's happening in Duduza, Ekurhuleni tomorrow. Good luck for it. And thanks again for your time. Let's get you some